Just wanted to ask you a question about Patrick Maroon. I mean, we know he's a big guy and he's comfortable going to the net and he's scored some tip-in and rebound goals. It seems to me he's also shown the ability to score a few from medium range like he did in San Jose. How do you look at sort of the area of the ice where he can be dangerous and what that adds to his whatever line he's on?
Well, his primary work space should be in and around the blue paint, and he does a lot of good work in there with quick hands and understanding positioning and what might happen as far as the goaltender and D-men defending him. But I think he's got great hands and good vision from the tops of the circles in. He also has the ability to either create or to finish. So if his feet move and he has the ability to keep up and read the play and he's involved in it, he's very dangerous in those areas. You can just yell out if you want.
Before you came here and in your first year here last year, this was a team that quote unquote got pushed around and got pushed out of games and physically lost more battles than it won. Now that you've managed to turn that around a little bit and you have some games like in Arizona where the big line helped you win the game, can you sort of describe, put into words for fans and for people, what it means to have the confidence to know that you've got some size and you can win some battles?
That's a good question. I guess first of all, our ability to respond or to play that way is a welcome thing in the locker room. It provides a sense of security for everybody involved. And as we appreciate the goaltenders for big saves and guys blocking shots on the penalty kill, or Connor scoring a big goal, or others doing those types of things, there's a role to be played in policing and protection. And we have enough of those players now to take care of it ourselves if we have to. At this point, I think our team's felt comfortable. I think it's led to some road wins in tough places to play. But I will say, and I did tell the players this, that there is a fine line where you can take it too far and it begins to cost you games. And I didn't think we had a tight enough lid on the discipline or the control of emotion in the last two games that we need to have. So it's a catch-22. We don't want to tame the tiger, but we also want to make sure that it's being used appropriately and at the right times.
Todd, with Jesse, you're at the point where obviously you want points, and then you've got a young player you want to try to develop, and the only way to develop is to play minutes. So how do you balance that? What's kind of the plan coming out of the break for him?
Well, we'll keep him going here for now. Obviously, losing Tyler is a big blow to our team. Right-handed shot, a guy that was able to score and shoot it and create on the forecheck. We've got backup right now, so we're on thin ice with forwards as it is. So Jesse may get some more playing time over the next little bit, but ultimately we want to win games. Secondarily, we want to make sure that young players are developing, and we have to balance that with him moving forward.
Is the tougher part with his development lately, you just haven't had any practice time. So even if he's not playing games, he can still work on a shot and other thing in practice. When you take out that, is it even more difficult?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough year right now for young players. You're either playing a lot and you've established a rhythm and you get going, or in Jesse's case, I thought Jesse played his best hockey earlier in the year when he was playing 14, 15 minutes a night if he got to that level. Whereas now, some nights he's only at 7 or 8. And that's in part due to the coaches trusting certain situations, not just him, but the team, and his play as well. And what ends up happening is you're not on the ice, you're not in that competitive, fast-moving, hard, grinding environment. It's hard to recreate that in practice. So, we've got to get him back into that at some point somewhere. Where it's 18 minutes a night, and he's feeling it. He's feeling the taxing of the opponent of the game, and he takes his RPMs back up.
One other young player, Drake Kajula. What have you seen from him lately? It was tough, his situation being a rookie and then being out for so long to start the season. What are you liking from Drake? What do you need to see more of?
Well, Drake is, in my opinion, his play's fallen off a little bit, and that can happen to a young player. He had a tremendous training camp. He worked hard to prove to the group that he belonged here, and he did. The injury obviously set him back. I thought he worked hard to get back in. Now the game has gone to another level. It's, the first 10 games, then the next 20, and now it's gone to another level, and he's got to graduate and make that next step. I think there's opportunities for him to be much more assertive with the puck and attacking and making plays. We talked about it, and we'll give him a chance. We'll see where he goes with it over the next couple weeks.
Coach, for Viasat Finland, Jason asked a few of my questions already, but was the Junior World Championships ever an option when thinking of the development of Jesse?
No, it wasn't with our group. We talked about it as a management team, and especially with the injuries that we have. It wasn't, and I watched the Finnish team play, and unfortunately they haven't won their games, but there's still some really good players that are left over from that team last year, and I'm sure Jesse's rooting for them all, and probably taking a little ribbing in the locker room as well.
Over here. This was a team that in the past would sort of get self-satisfied after 1 or 2 good games. You talk to them now, they're not satisfied after 35 good ones. Where did that change come from? Is that something you guys have had to stay on top of, or is it coming out of the room itself?
Well, you know what? It's hard to talk about accomplishments right now because there's nobody satisfied. There's comparisons, our record now to what it was last year, to 2 years ago, improvements in this area. Everybody's walking around and patting us on the back, but our group doesn't feel like that. Our group feels like we got so much more to give and to do and to improve on, that maybe they're accepting the fact that 2 wins or stealing a point in San Jose isn't good enough anymore. Can't be satisfied with that, and we're really stressing that. The teams that come out of this stretch now and end up making the playoffs, a lot of them understand what it's like, and a lot of them get what the second half of the season's all about. We're not recreating systems or anything like that. It's polishing it up and doing it night after night better than the opposition. And in my opinion, we're entering a new territory right now for our group if we want to be one of those teams. And we'll see where it goes, but I'm glad that our group isn't taking the accolades and sitting back with it.
Todd, quickly about Puljujärvi, one more on him. And you had Slepyshev here, then he went down. He's a little bit older, but it's still a young player in himself. Is there a chance, do you look at that if you could send Jesse down there for 3 weeks and bring Slepyshev up, that maybe the gap between those two, it would be worthwhile to get him playing way more minutes down there?
Anything's possible, yep.
And Benning, did he have, because I know on that Tampa Bay game, the concussion spotter talked to him. Did he have a little bit of lingering effects from that the week leading up to Christmas break? Matt Benning?
Matt Benning? No, he was fine. It was, we talked, if you go back to the graduation or the implementation of Davey and Gribes into the lineup, we didn't want to bring 2 guys back at the same time. So we got Davey going. Benny was physically tired a little bit. And openly admitted that it's a tough schedule for him. So that allowed Gribes to go in, and we wanted Gribes in before the Christmas break. We didn't want him to go another 6 or 7 days without playing. So as we go forward now, we're going to rotate 7 or 8 defensemen in and out. We'll try and keep everybody up and running. I think, as we all know, it's hard to keep everybody up and healthy. Sekera's already not here today, so there'll be plenty of opportunity for everyone to play.
Todd, Brandon Davidson's game looks like he's back up to where he might have been. Have you thought of moving him up into the second pairing rather than the third pairing? And Oscar's game has been kind of up and down.
I think I read that. Was that in your article that I read?
That's why I'm asking the coach.
I appreciate the tip. Again, anything's on the anything's open. We're Brandon and Eric are just coming back. They're, Grimes is 2 games now, I think, maybe 3 under his belt, and continuity sometimes is a comfortable thing for those guys when they're just getting back into the lineup. I see where you're going with it, and I understand it. Clef's road trip was up and down. He ended up on a down note, in my opinion, in San Jose, so I can see why some people may be wondering that, but certainly going to give him a chance with Lars to get it going again and then make decisions on a nightly basis.
When Clef on is down, is it decision making? What is it that you're not liking about his game when it's down?
Well, he's like any young player. decision-making, anticipation, skills, reading and reacting. Sometimes the body's just not allowing itself to be fast or smart or sharp. But we can say that from Connor all the way through our lineup. It happens to individuals. And I think Clef sometimes gets put, I don't want to say on a pedestal because I don't want to take a shot at Clef because it's very unfair to him, but Clef gets put up with the elite, and he's only played 130 games because he probably was elite for our team with 130 games. Like, he needs more time and more experience. On any other team, everybody would be happy with him coming in. I don't see a lot different between Benning and Clough, except Benning gets to come in at a different time in the organization. That's just how it is.